pass the exam and go online, apply for jobs. Tell them you're CMRT certified, but you're still in so and so place. And they can even sponsor your coming over. And when you come here, you can process your PR, which if given to you, maybe within 3 years, you become a citizen.
Hi, Ify. Nice to see you. It's been ages,
Same here.
And I think this is like 4 years since the last time we saw. The last time I was in Nigeria. You weren't looking this fly. Tell me the secret. I need to come to Canada and see what's going on.
To be honest, is everyone finding a balance wherever they are.
Absolutely.
Right? So regardless of where you are, if you tell yourself that I'm going to be happy no matter what, you will still look like.
Happiness is the key, and I love that.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see you, Ify. We're going to just head on to the conversation. If you just tell us about yourself. I know you, but people would like to know you. So just tell us about yourself, who you are, and how far you've come.
Okay, so thank you for saying that. I mean the part where you said how far you have come, because some people just want to hear, oh, she makes this amount of money, she does this, she does that, but they don't know the journey.
Yeah.
So, in a nutshell, my name is Ifadekachiwa Dinobi.
Yeah.
And professionally, I am known as an MR tech, but I don't rule out the fact that I am a Nigerian-born radiographer who moved to Canada and became an MR tech.
Lovely.
Which is still the same thing with where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
But a different name.
Okay.
And a different certification.
Right.
So that's who I am.
Oh, lovely. I mean, originally, or where you're coming from, you have qualified as a radiographer and then, of course, moved to Canada to specialize in MRI. And from the way you explained the designation, it is still the same MRI radiographer that, you might call it MRI radiographer in England or elsewhere, or in Canada, it's referred as MRI tech.
MRI tech.
Yeah, and I think that's the same for the US as well, is that?
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Our certification is practically the same thing with the US.
Okay.
The only difference is patient care.
Yeah.
Like we refer to as, our governing body, CMRT. Theirs is ART. They have the FDA. We have the Medicare.
Yeah.
So it's just slight difference.
Yeah.
But technically, it's the same thing with Nigeria, UK, America, Canada. Right. Same practices.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Lovely. I mean, it's nice to see you and hear that as well. So if you want to just give us in detail about your professional journey, how long you've been qualified, what you did in the past, and where you are now, how far has it been, the journey?
I'm going to be very honest. You've always known me to be a blunt person.
Of course, be blunt today. You're allowed.
And this is going to help a lot of people, okay? First of all, I would only do this for you in America. I wouldn't divulge this so much for someone else.
Thank you so much.
I didn't graduate with my mates back then in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Because I had kids and all that. So when I got back, I had so many things to work on. I spent a whole year trying to write some exams and all that. So my mates were already like seniors in their workplaces. Come on, I met you then in school. And you were supposed to be like 4 years my junior, right?
Really? I can't remember that,
Yeah, so I just knew this is something I wanted.
Yeah.
And no matter what, I am going to stick out my neck and get it done.
Get it done, yeah.
So I returned back to UNN and spent an extra 1 year with my little baby in school. Yeah. And then I graduated. That was in 2011.
You had a baby at the time in school?
Yes. I had 5 kids.
Oh, wow. Wow. You are a power mom. How do you say it? Oh, wow.
Right now there are 6 actually.
Yeah. And you're still reading, studying, and going to school.
Yeah, because I wanted it so bad.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was this lucrative, but I just knew there was something about MRI that I just couldn't wrap my hands around.
Yeah.
So I spent 1 year, taking care of my cardiovascular. Yes, I had cardiovascular.
Yeah.
And after I graduated in 2011, I started work. Like in Nigeria, we had that opportunity to get into somewhere, and we had colleagues who were very kind, who would teach you regardless of how low you think of yourself.
Yeah.
You just need to be trainable. You just need to be humble.
Yeah.
So I started working from 2011, and then in 2013 I did my NYSC because I tried getting an exemption and they said no, and I graduated before 24. So I would say I was lucky to serve, right? Then after 2013, I just knew I wanted more.
Yeah.
So I started applying for CPDs and going for professional courses and stuff.
Yeah.
And I got my hands really clean with CTs and ultrasound. But the day I walked into a certain hospital and saw the MRI machine, I said, this is going to be more challenging. And considering the kind of personality I have, I had to change my passion for X-rays and CTs and mammo and ultrasound for that. So I tried everything within my powers to get, the certification program that was happening in Nigeria, the MRI thing.
Yeah.
And
the PGD one.
Yeah, I just couldn't because of location.
Yeah.
Like I had to travel
it wasn't able
to that place, and then my kids. So it occurred to me that I can still have such opportunity here in Canada, because along the line I started nursing, moving to Canada. Of course, after I got my UK practicing license, I wasn't getting job offers.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing wrong. So I would advise people to get their HCPC, and they've left.
Yeah.
Like I had like 3-4 persons, and I was like, what is wrong with me?
Yeah.
I would check my CV, I would check my everything I put together.
Yeah.
And the only time I got the opportunity to come to get a job in the UK, I was told that I needed to come over for interview.
Right. Yeah.
And there were no guarantees that I would get a job.
Yeah. So they didn't offer you like the virtual interview. Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. Yeah.
I stayed at, I think, about 2 years, renewed my HCPC, and I still didn't get a job.
Yeah.
So it was tough for me. And then I changed my mind towards going to the UK. Then I had to think about Canada.
Yeah.
And then I sat down and studied, the prerequisites and everything that is needed of a radiographer to move over to Canada. And I saw that I passed, like I had the requirements.
Yeah.
So I ditched UK and, turned my face to Canada. And within, I think, 9 months, I moved to Canada. Mine was super fast.
Yeah.
So this is me using this opportunity to also tell some people who are trying UK and it's not coming through, to not just give up in trying for other countries, right? Because the funny thing is, I got over here and found out that radiography practice in Canada is like getting an American visa.
Oh, wow.
It is a tough one to get into this community.
Wow.
So, that's been my journey. So when I came, I was supposed to write the certification exam, but I didn't want to do X-rays. So I defended my X-ray and my CT and my mammography, and I was allowed to go back to school
Right.
to study MRI.
Right.
So I went to one of the colleges here and did a program in advanced MRI and spectroscopy. And I wouldn't say I just became lucky because I studied so hard. And here I am today. I got it.
Wow. This is amazing. I mean, like, I could just sit listening to you all day, you know, and, you know, we draw our inspiration from a lot of things. And I do say to people as well, you know, you don't just give up because you've tried. You have to push yourself beyond trying, you see. Talking about carryover, I actually had a carryover in school. I've never said this to anyone. So even though people see me as, oh, Emeka is a... I had that moment as well. And it was really a very difficult one. But I just had to push myself. And the rest is a story when you become successful, you see. And I'm really proud of you, and your story is really, really, really so inspiring, honestly. I've had people ask me questions regarding what you just said, and I keep, you know, trying to tell them that, listen, there is no limit in life. There's nothing absolutely that can limit you in life if you have that positive mindset, was a set goal. So you just talked about your inspiration, and I was going to say, why Canada? You have Australia, we have you know, other places. So why did you choose Canada as your you know, place of interest or choice?
Okay, like I said before, UK didn't work out. Though 2 years after I came in here, I started getting job offers from the UK. And it was annoying.
Really?
But at the same time,
yeah,
I was like, this is another lesson to learn and teach my kids. That you want something so bad today and it doesn't come through shouldn't be your reason for giving up.
Yeah.
It's just not your time at that point.
Yeah.
So sending me, in fact, they even sent me another memo that if I'm not going to take a job in the UK, there was something they said I need to renew or something. I said I was going to talk to you about that. If I don't do that by September, they will cancel my certification, you know, in the UK. So I chose Canada because I wanted so badly to move with my kids.
Yeah.
And Canada was offering more.
Okay.
I would have the leverage of having my kids in school free of charges. Right now, I'm pursuing my career to the essence of becoming a PhD holder here in Canada.
Yeah.
And this opportunity only comes to permanent residents or citizens.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to happen for me in the UK. One, UK wasn't offering me a job. That's the truth.
Yeah.
And Australia was tougher because I actually tried. I had to write some exams, and there were so many things that Australia had, you know, that I just couldn't take at the moment because it was also very depressing for searching, right?
Yeah.
So Canada came as the one that was closest to giving me what I wanted, which was citizenship for my kids within 3 years. 3 to 4 years, not just 3 years.
Yeah.
And I do not have to be working as an MR tech or even in the field of radiography for me to get that.
Yeah.
Because we came here as permanent residents, right? So we have the same rights as citizens. It gave me more opportunity than I would have elsewhere.
Yeah.
Because I took my time to study the pros and the cons.
Yeah.
Then the other thing was, I checked the best place to live, you know, thingy, the statistics.
Yeah.
Canada was topping the list with, I think, was it Switzerland or some other country?
Right.
And then being a mother first before anything, my children, picking anything, I have to pick my kids first. So Canada gave them more opportunity. In fact, my daughter won an award recently in Canadian law.
Oh, right.
Yes. She got an admission with a scholarship in one of the Canadian universities here.
Right.
I wouldn't get such an opportunity easily somewhere else.
Yeah.
And the last but not the least is the fact that I realized almost everybody in Canada is immigrants.
Yeah.
Or rather, and
from different places. Yeah.
I would say 70% of the people.
Right.
You know, so I felt like there would be a quality more here than any other place in the world. And to be honest, I think that's true.
You're happy where you are.
There is still systemic challenges.
Yeah.
But it's not as bad as some other countries that I would have chosen.
Right. I see what you mean. Wow, that's really good. And you know, the most important thing is the happiness. You're happy where you are, and it's working for you. So we are really happy to hear that from you as well. So talking about, you know, practicing in Canada, which is the main topic we're talking about today, we would like to know, like, what qualifications, what I understand radiography, of course, is the same everywhere in the world, but it's now peculiar to countries, you see. So if you come to Canada, what are the things that you'd be expected to have, the qualifications to have before you get into practicing? Or even what boards you are supposed to be registered with? In the UK, you must register with HCPC to be able to practice in the UK. What is it like in Canada?
Okay, in Canada, UK, I think with your HCPC, you can work in any of the provinces, right?
Yeah.
But in Canada, the federal controllers are called CMRT. That's CAMRT.
Okay.
Yeah. So they control radiotherapy, MRI, ultrasound, X-ray. Of course, X-ray and CT is together here.
Yeah.
You can't just come here and say you want to do X-ray.
Yeah.
You are also supposed to know some basic things in CT.
Yeah.
So coming from Africa is an advantage.
Yeah.
Because you already have a basic qualification, which is X-ray.
Mm-hmm.
You can't diverge to CT or MRI or radiotherapy, or ultrasound if you do not have X-ray.
Yeah. Sorry, bear with me a minute. Is that the Canadian Association of Medical Radiation?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Technologists, yes. Yeah. So you cannot practice in Canada without first of all having registered with them. And for you to register with them, it means you have written the exam. You don't just come and register.
Yeah.
So then you now have the opportunity to choose. If you're coming from other countries, they are to defend what you're coming with.
Mm-hmm.
So you register with them and they will do their own findings.
Yeah, the evaluation and stuff.
If you actually qualified with what you're presenting.
Yeah.
And if you did qualify, you would pay for your exam.
So there will be an
you
exam
cannot practice
with the CMRT before you practice wherever you're coming from.
Yes.
Even after
wherever you're coming from.
Even after the verification has happened.
No, in fact, you cannot practice more than X-ray. In fact, you can't practice MRI if you don't have the X-ray. You've not written the X-ray exam. If you had your X-ray here in Canada.
Right.
But if you're coming from somewhere else, you may not have to write the X-ray exam.
Right.
But that's other, let's say you want to do ultrasound or MRI.
Yeah.
You will now specifically write the exams for those ones you want to go into.
Right.
But if you do not want to do MRI or any other thing, that's your X-ray that you have that qualified you if you wanted to do MRI exams. That's your X-ray. You still have to write an exam for it, for you to practice with it.
Trust it.
Yeah. And trust me, you have to study. I mean, I'm sorry to put this out there, but 80% of the time, people who come in with their qualification from home fail that exam not once but twice.
Yeah, I've heard about that exam being quite really tough. Yeah.
So apparently that's just what it is.
Yeah.
That's how to practice here. And I would use this medium to advise anyone who is coming into Canada. When you come here, if you cannot sit down and study, go back to school. Their patient care, oh my goodness, is their lifeline in medicine here.
Yeah.
No matter how intelligent you are, if their patient care, in fact, Canadian patients are babies. That's how we treat them. We treat them like gods.
So
you have to be trained well in patient care.
Yeah, could you not like, let's establish that, of course, in your BSc back in school, we did all of those patient care, we did all of those courses, and of course going to for internship and also going into, maybe 2-3 years postgraduate experience, you would have actually exposed yourself to all of these, and then coming into a system that you're not familiar with, say like in Canada, could you not just learn the system, in the job? Or
that's if you even get a job.
All right, if you get a job, because you won't get a job if you don't write the exam.
Exactly.
That's fine. Okay, I get it. It's okay.
That's why I tell people. People think that reading the books, the textbooks, and all that is enough for them.
Yeah.
If you have not practiced well in Nigeria, you may not pass that exam.
Right.
Because the exam is patient care centered. Imagine asking you a question like, you are recently employed. This is an exam question.
Mm-hmm.
And while you were scanning a patient, your colleague, who happened to be your mentor, suddenly fell down. And what would you do at that point?
Yeah.
It is not a textbook question.
Yeah.
You won't find the answer in any textbook.
Absolutely.
There was one question that threw me off balance in the exam. They said something about a baby, and then they mentioned fetus. My mind was going to baby, not fetus. You needed to get...
You need to understand where it is coming from.
Exactly. So they jam-pack everything together, and they were asking me what coil is best to scan that child.
Yeah.
Because you need to look at the child's brain.
Absolutely.
So anyone who wants to practice in Canada has to be honest to themselves first. If you're somebody who is lazy, who likes to cut corners, don't bother. You won't find a job in Canada.
Yeah. So that's really amazing, what you were telling us about the difference in practice. And definitely these are all the variations we get to see, depending on your location. It won't be the same as the US, and it won't be the same as Australia, and definitely not the same as the UK. We appreciate all of these differences. So we understand that in the UK, for instance, we have the banding system, right? Like we talk about band 5, band 6, and these are just like the different skill metrics that represent the radiographers and the healthcare practitioners, and then it also reflects the wages they receive as well. So how do you refer to your structure? Like, do you have such a structure like the banding system?
We do not have that.
Okay.
We just have the charge tech, who back home we refer to them as chief.
Chief radiographer.
They are, yes.
So what did you call it now? Charge tech.
Charge tech,
Right.
yes.
Okay.
And you do not get to this position if you have not been working for a certain number of hours.
Right.
Even if you come in with a master's and a PhD, you are starting at the lowest levels.
Okay.
So long as you have never worked in their medical, facility.
Yeah.
So apparently, Canada recognizes the work hours. If you walk into any radiography department, I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
You would see how many hours you've worked all the while. So it's there on the board.
Oh, really?
And from that, you know who is your senior.
This is really interesting. Would that not make people want to work more hours then?
Mind you, you're paying tax.
I don't care. As long as I become a charge tech. Oh, interesting.
Yes. But becoming a charge tech is very tedious.
Yeah. Right.
Because you are the, how do I put this?
You
are the middleman between our complaint and now the radiologist. And then you have to always know what is happening in other places and modify your protocols.
Right.
So apparently being a charge tech has some few dollars difference.
Yeah.
Maybe around $5-ish. So it's not like
really?
That's
wow. So would you now say anyway? Let's not talk about it as being a glorified position, because what's the difference?
There's no difference. In fact, let me shock you.
Yeah.
People who did their X-rays here it's not degree.
Okay.
It's actually a diploma.
Right.
2 years program.
Right.
And they wrote the CMRT and started working in X-ray.
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe they want to upgrade their payments, their paycheck kind of. And they go ahead to study ultrasound or MRI or radiotherapy.
Right.
Advanced program. The difference in rank between that person and you who came in with all your qualifications and years of experience might be very huge. Meanwhile, they just have 2 years diploma.
Right. So it has to do with additional skill metrics, going for like advanced studies, just like
you just have to keep studying.
Absolutely.
But let me put it this way again. If say you have a degree, someone like me who had a degree from back home, and then I get to Canada, of course, doing my MRI thing, and presently doing my medical physics, master's in medical physics. The only difference between how much I earn and my colleague who is not going to do anything else in life is $1.
Right. Interesting.
So getting your master's in Canada, they don't care about those things. They care about your skill.
Yeah, what can you do?
Canada is.
What can you bring to the table? Yeah.
They will pick their their high school graduates over you 1 billion times over. Because their educational system here is a hands-on. It's super inclusive.
Yeah.
So if you come with your degree and you walk in and you're like, I've spent this number of years in the university, blah, blah, blah. You would see a high school graduate who doesn't want to further their education being your boss, but not in the medical system. I mean outside of the medical system.
I understand what you mean. Interesting. Wow, that's amazing to know. So from what you've just explained, do you think that there is flexibility, when it comes to the work how flexible is it?
Very flexible.
Very flexible. So
very.
So you can balance your work life, very well. Of course, I see you on TikTok, so mother of 6, MR10,
very well.
has time, that's amazing. So how is it like? You talked about mentorship sometime. How is it like? Because I know you've done your. I think we are going to come to that topic. Let's talk about it first of all before we move to the mentorship part. How did you find your advanced program in MRI? Because you went to do that, went in for that studies, I think. So how was it for you?
In the entire province where I live, I have not found one black MR tech.
Okay.
It seems like I'm the only black person in this community.
Oh, bless you.
So, I knew I needed, like there was a guy from Ethiopia, but he has moved to BC.
Right.
So apparently he left me all by myself. In fact, I never met him. He moved when I came.
Did he complete the program?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
I think he was the only person. Then myself, because I've checked around, I've called our professional body here.
Yeah.
I didn't add that when I was talking about CMRT governing the whole profession.
Yeah.
Before you join the CMRT, like the federal body, your locality, your province, you have to also join their body.
Right. If I get it clearly, your different provinces, they have their body, their local bodies.
Yes.
So what it means is when you're registered with your local body, say for instance, if you're in Vancouver, right, and you're registered with the body in Vancouver, you cannot move to another province with that Vancouver body registration to practice.
Yes.
You now have to register with another province.
Exactly.
Oh, right.
It is very strictly regulated. Here is a twist to that. If you move to another province, you can start practicing. Like, I got a job in Saskatchewan. I got a job offer in Saskatchewan. And the HR told me, they're going to take me, right? But I will have to register with their professional body. But I'm not going to pay for that. The professional body here will move my record to them.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
So it's not restricting your practice. You're not paying extra money.
So all you just need to do is just to register. There's no, because if they move your record, there's no difference, So what's the registration? There's no difference. There's nothing.
The governing body already has your information.
Yeah. So why are you registering for a new province? When
because
it will be the same
in all the provinces, there are certain rules also guiding practices.
Right.
Within every province, it's not the same everywhere.
Right. So just so you are compliant, that's why you're doing that.
So again, you know how people get into trouble. Negligence and the province where you are is supposed to protect you.
Yeah, you should be answerable to them. They should know, you are not coming from the back door. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So back to the question you asked me. When I got to school, I found out that my class was dominated by people of different race.
Yeah.
And coming with the mindset that I would be treated unequally, which was bad on my side.
Why did you think that way?
Yes, I had to think that way because we were mentored like that back home.
Yeah, right.
The media, social outlets,
then
the community of certain people of color you meet here make you feel that's what is going to happen to you.
Yeah. Whereas that's
so whether
that's
or not
wrong.
you want to think it,
Yeah.
unconsciously it is there in your mind.
Yeah. And that's the wrong.
So, but again, there was something in my head. I had read of Nigerians who traveled to different countries and they, did exploit and all that. I told myself I'm going to be one of those people.
Yeah.
I know it was very unhealthy, but I was sleeping just 4 hours during my program.
How long was the program?
I had my kids. The program was about 9 months.
Okay. Is that the PG?
So, yes.
Okay.
I had my kids. I would have to drop them at school, be part of their life, still have to go to class. And the program had to do with almost every 2 days tests.
Wow.
There were 5 courses. If you failed just one, not even that you failed, but you didn't meet their cutoff.
Yeah.
You've missed out completely. You can't proceed
really
any
demanding.
further.
Yeah, that's really demanding.
And it was much more demanding because I didn't have any help. My husband traveled to Nigeria for business, and I had to be in class at 8 o'clock every morning.
Oh, bless you.
I had to drop my kids off school. It was winter. I had to drop them off school at 8:45.
Yeah.
It was tough.
Yeah.
But something made me win. I entered with a heart of winning.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well done. Well done. Congratulations, by the way. I've not celebrated you for that, achieving that feat.
Thank you so much.
When I come to Canada, I won't forget to celebrate you.
I will be glad to have you because, I like snapping pictures and you're always everywhere. So I can't wait for you to come here.
Absolutely. I look forward to coming to Canada, really.
You should. I think you have the qualifications. And I think you should apply now because there is so much job opportunities for radiographers right now.
No, I'm not coming to work. I'm coming for holiday.
Then stop at Toronto. Don't even bother going to Saskatchewan or Manitoba or Newfoundland or Nova Scotia.
Yeah,
just stop at Toronto because the weather will deal with you.
I heard it's very cold in SAT. So
yes, it is.
Yeah. Anyway, that's fine. So talk about the mentorship part. You were saying something. You mentor other students who want to come into the program. Is that what you said earlier?
Yeah. My reason for doing that, I am not charging money for that or anything. It's just to keep myself abreast.
Right. Is that like an informal thing? You organize it yourself, or?
Yeah, I did organize it myself, but most recently, like I said to you before, a friend of mine, my best friend, Lisa, she's white. She was much more smarter because she grew up here. Like, she's white. This is her community. So we talked about applying to the school to become mentors. Like for, people who wants to prepare for the exams and people who wants to actually get into the program without even knowing what is, required of them.
Yeah.
Just so that we can keep our minds, hungry, searching, and active.
Yeah.
So, but she has already gone ahead to do that.
Okay.
So many things are actually stopping me is for personal reasons.
Right.
But there are 1 or 2 places that I mentor people.
Okay.
And I don't charge them.
Right.
Because I feel it's a way of me giving back to the community that gave me without asking me for anything.
Yeah. I mean, that's really a huge sacrifice you're making. And of course, it's something you look back and you're happy you're doing it. It also keeps your memory, refreshed about the whole program. So it's a good thing you're doing there. So if there are radiographers
who wants to come in and they want to run MRI thingies, I could take one or two persons and mentor them if they are coachable.
Yeah, it's important they are coachable. Yeah.
Yeah.
So these people have to be in Canada basically before they write the exam, isn't it? Because
No.
Right. So you can write the exam anywhere.
Yeah.
As long as you've qualified. Well, as long as the verification is done with the CMRT.
Yes.
You have been successful, in the application for the exam, to sit for the exam. So you can write it anywhere. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's brilliant. Okay. So anyone who needs mentorship, you have to come through me first before you go to her. Before you go to her, come through me. I'll make sure you are coachable, you are teachable. Then I'll refer you to her. But that's really a nice one, Ify.
But it's actually another easier way to get a job here.
Okay.
Pass the exam and go online, apply for jobs. Tell them you're CMRT certified.
Yeah.
But you're still in so place.
Yeah.
And they can even sponsor your coming over. And when you come here, you can process your PR.
Yeah.
Which, if given to you, maybe within 3 years, you become a citizen.
Yeah. Ify, when someone finishes the exam, the CMRT exam, right, you still have the hurdle of a province registering you under their body. So at what point would you be worried about that if you're an international applicant?
You shouldn't be worried about that. If you're an international applicant, you're not expecting a province to register you at the point.
Yeah. So
how do
you get a job in a particular province?
You can get a job from any province.
When you don't
then when you actually move to that place,
okay,
if you relocate to that place, then you join their body.
All right. So you can actually just get a job with your CMRT without being in the province, in a particular province. So when you get to the province, then you must register with them.
Yes. The only reason why I had to register is because I live here.
Okay.
In fact, the province saw my results before me. I was called by one of my instructors, a Chinese woman. She wrote me and was like, "Hey, have you seen your results? Because it takes about 3 weeks for the results to be posted."
Okay.
So you have 3 weeks of panic.
I like that.
So I was just, I think I just drove home from somewhere, and then I saw her message on Teams.
Yeah.
"Hey, babes, what's up? Have you seen your results? Did you pass?" And I'm like, "Just give me a minute." I ran to my email because I needed to log into my CMRT account.
Yeah.
I saw the our province body, like governing body.
Yeah.
Send me a message, "Congratulations." After the congratulating message, then I said, "You have to pay."
Of course. Come on, pay. We are welcoming you, but we're congratulating you, but you owe us.
So it was just so funny. I haven't even seen my results. So with that, I was not scared anymore.
Yeah.
To log into my CMRT.
Yeah.
And then when I got in, I saw I was like, I already know.
Oh wow, Ify. I mean, you are really such a beautiful soul. We're so happy to have you, and we are just very close to the end of the conversation. But I'm just going to ask you about challenges. What challenges do you think international radiographers face practicing in Canada? You are an international radiographer, and what do you
Not
think?
anymore.
Well, not anymore. But what do you think, can be the challenges, practicing in Canada?
Now, when you say international, I'm just racking my brain. Do you mean people?
When people come into Canada for the first time, what challenges do they face practicing?
Okay, is it immigrants or people who came in as work visa or something?
I'm referring to radiographers who come from different
countries. That means immigrants who are already permanent residents.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, sure.
Because it's a different system they are coming into, So what sort of challenges do they face? For instance, there will be cultural shock, that's really certain. But you just mentioned you have to pass your exams and all of that. What happens when someone doesn't pass? So what sort of challenges do they really face? Do they have to get stuck in X-ray if they wanted to do MRI or CT? Or
you can't even do an X-ray if you don't pass the X-ray.
Right. So tell us the challenges.
So the challenges here is just the same everywhere.
Okay.
You have to study and pass your exams. And to me, I don't see that as a challenge. I see that as doing things the right way.
Mm-hmm.
But just like everywhere, especially where I'm coming from, where there are tribal sentiments, segregations, and all that, is also happening here.
Right.
But the beauty of it is, how would I put this? If you're somebody who comports yourself very well,
mm-hmm.
you won't have any problem.
Yeah.
Because there's something called ethics and conduct within any facility that you're supposed to work in.
Yeah.
If you feel marginalized, you can tender a report. Like I pick up my phone and then I call my professional body here.
Yeah. You can always
there was one time I went for an interview.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow I felt that I wasn't treated right. I called my professional body.
Yeah.
And I was like, I went to an interview somewhere and this and that happened. In fact, I'm leaving the province. And they said, no, it hasn't gotten to that. Would you be more detailed? And I was like, I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But I didn't like how I was treated, blah, blah, blah. These guys went ahead of me to investigate things.
The matter, yeah.
So the challenge you would have is individualized kind of challenge, not the system doing that to you. There are bad people everywhere. Okay, so apparently you aren't challenged with getting a job if you have your certification.
Yeah.
And you comport yourself well. You won't be challenged in your workplace at retaining your job if you do the things that are within the books.
Absolutely.
And the patients, not one patient has ever said, you're black, so I don't want you to touch me.
Yeah.
In fact, they treat me like a queen, if I have to be very honest with you.
Yeah. They're lovely people everywhere.
The people that I worry about are co-workers who just feel threatened by your presence.
Right.
That is the only challenge I would say. But people say there are systemic challenges. But I'm telling you, it is not the system. It is an individual who is bitter about a certain thing.
Yeah.
And doesn't know how to control it personally.
Yeah.
But brings it within the workspace.
Right.
But again, what are you there to do? You're there to work. Focus, do your job and go home.
Do your job, get the money and go home.
Absolutely. And nobody owes you a dime.
Yeah.
They pay on 2 weeks. If you feel your pay didn't tally with the number of hours you worked, you challenge it.
Yeah.
And in the next paycheck, you get your money.
Absolutely. What's the taxation like? I like money. What's the taxation like?
Bros, you big.
I know in UK we do 20%, 40%, depending on what you earn. So
no, ours is not dependent on what you earn. Like every ML-Tech, like in my province, entry level is about $37, $38 an hour. And then some place like Saskatchewan is about $42.
Why is that? Is it because
so
it's
every
cold?
Province.
Why is
it's the way they do their things. Like
right.
It has to do with
the peculiarity
their
of
demands.
education. Yeah.
So apparently, the way Saskatchewan tax is not the way Ontario tax is. And it's not the way. There are two types of tax that is being charged here. We call one GST and the other one is PST. So the way they calculate it all together, I'm not an accountant.
Yeah.
But I know if within a year, considering your family size, they tax you based on your family size.
Right.
When you do your income tax and all that, if they have overtaxed you the previous year, they pay you back.
Yeah, it's still the same here.
So it's the same everywhere. So your tax is with regards to the province where you are.
Yeah. All right. Peculiarities as well. That's absolutely fine. So what do you want to tell, people who are who have family? I know you've got family. Who have family and they want to relocate to
they should come.
Canada. I know, like in the UK, you would want to consider, having to settle first of all, look at the system, get used to the system before bringing over family, if you've got family, and then also, in terms of finance and not having them overwhelm you if you're not earning so much. So, in Canada, what is the family support system like?
Trust me, you want to be here if you have kids.
Tell me more.
I'm telling you this. Every child who came in here as a landed immigrant, whose parents are doing nothing, gets massive support from the government. I will list them.
Right.
If you come in, say, with 5 kids, each one of them gets paid every month, whether you're working or not. I think it's about $400 to $420, whether you're working or so. 5 kids already in a month.
When you mean kids, what age are we talking about?
From the third, like the one that is already here with us, not the one in the top.
Yeah.
So from 0 months or whatever to 18. The moment you hit 18, you're no longer a child here.
Yeah.
So if you have 5 kids, let's say they're paying you $400. In fact, if you have 5 kids, you're not working, your husband is not working, guaranteed over $2,000 every month. If that $2,000, government still expects you to save some money for these kids, for their education. If you're wise enough to open what we call an RESP account for them in a bank, government will give you extra $5,000
for using that account.
In that account.
Yeah.
For their education. So every month when government pay you, if you're a wise parent, you take out money from the money government has paid you and put in there. But even if you don't want to save for the education, government is not giving you that $5,000. That child, when he gets, like when they're younger, they go to school free of charges, right?
Yeah.
But when they become adults, say 18, and they get admission into the university, government still give them student loan. And in that loan, they get grants. Say your student loan is about $50,000. Government might give you grants of say $8,000 to $10,000.
Right.
So if you're paying back, you're just paying back maybe $40,000.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, that is why many people rather take student loan. Because when you're paying back, when you graduate, let's say you graduate and you haven't gotten a job, which is rare. Government will still give you time till you get a job to start paying back.
Yeah.
And you can decide that every month, what you'll be paying them back is $10 or $20.
Yeah.
Whatever is comfortable, because they wouldn't tax you, they wouldn't put you on so much pressure.
Yeah.
To pay. But some people, blacks like us, somebody like me, if my child decides to get a student loan, I'm making sure she pays it off within the first 5 years.
Yeah.
Because it is not fair on the other people coming in that you're holding such huge amount of money, sitting on it, and you're not even paying back. That's wrong.
Yeah, you should pay back.
The other support you get coming with your kids is what we call rent assist.
Okay.
If you come in with your kids and you are sensible enough to cut your coat according to your size, say you get an apartment that you're paying $1,000 every month. If you apply for rent assist because you don't have money, government might decide to be paying $800 for that house, and you're paying $200.
Okay.
And then, if you haven't yet gotten a job, but you choose to do jobs that doesn't need certification, say babysitting, hairdressing, stuff like that, which also gives people some substantial amount of income. Government can subsidize child minding for you. Like for me, I was paying every 20 days about $400 and something for my child being in daycare.
Right.
But eventually, government subsidized it for me. Now, what I pay is $20. Imagine, I pay $40 now.
Okay.
So imagine paying $40 out of $400 and something.
Yeah.
So the government of Canada, I'm telling you this without being biased and without being political, they support families. But when you start making big money, you go pay. That's your money. You go use and help other people that are coming in.
Yeah. But...
And it hurts me when I sit down and hear people say, they're tasking us too much, they're doing this, they're doing that. Whereas you came in as an immigrant.
Yeah.
And you got all the support.
Yeah. You need to.
Where did they get that money from?
You need to give back for that support to really, get to the other people.
Absolutely. But I bet you, so many people would fight me for this. But that is where I stand.
Please don't fight her. If I see you fighting her, I'll delete your comments. That's on a lighter note. All right. So, it's been really an insightful conversation, Ify, and I don't want to keep you longer than required. What are your closing remarks to anyone listening, radiographer or non-radiographer, anybody outside who is thinking, should I go to Canada or should I not go to Canada? So what do you have as a closing remark?
My closing remark is this. Become a radiographer first, wherever you're coming.
Yeah.
It gives you a soft landing.
Mm-hmm.
People here who wants to get into radiography, I know a girl, this is her 8th year on queue to even get into X-ray. Something that we get so easily back home.
Mm-hmm.
Become a radiographer back home. Please, whatever you want to do, don't put money in front of you. Become good at your skills. Become good at whatever your mind has set out to do. You see, money will respect you when you become an expert in what you're doing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Trust me. For all of you that have left school, all of you that are in school because you want to go to UK, I bet you that shouldn't be your motivation. Because it's going to die off soon if UK treats you the way they treated me. Let your motivation be, I'm going to be the best in this profession. And the world will beg you to grace their land.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, a lady called me one of the days and was like, she was super honest. She said, I have never seen someone who came in the way you did, who is as skilled as you.
Yeah.
You know why? I wasn't interested in the money. The day I told my instructor that I wasn't interested in the money, she's like, then why are you here? Remove money before you.
Yeah.
Money will come.
Yeah. Think about other motivations.
That is my advice.
Wow.
And Emeka, let me add this.
Okay.
So many of my classmates who had the challenge I had, at least 3 of them, they found it difficult to return and write the exam with their younger generations.
So did they give up?
I don't know what their reasons were.
Did they give up radiography?
They gave up.
After
There was one day my lecturer, Professor Okeji, refused me from writing Radiobiology 301 because I had a carryover in that course. We were more than 30 standing outside, not just my set. Different other sets were there. And he said, we can't come in. I stood there for more than 30 minutes. Everyone left, remaining just 3 of us. Okeji came out and said, this woman, you're very stubborn. I said, sir, if you know how bad I want this, I have to pass this 301 to be able to get where I'm going to. He let me in 30 minutes after.
Started. Wow.
And I submitted my papers within 45 minutes.
Wow.
And I heard him scold the class while I was leaving. This madam just came in here, and I just had my 5th baby then. He said, this madam just came in now, and she has submitted. All of you submit your papers. What I'm trying to say is, they can bend you, but they won't break you.
Absolutely.
If you're unbreakable. That's my last word to you.
Wow. All right. So thank you very much for all of this. I mean, like I said earlier, I could sit here listening to you all day, but of course, we've got some other things to do. And I really appreciate that you spent this moment sharing your experience and sharing your life, and I'm sure that our viewers will be very, very, very happy wherever they are looking at this video. And I appreciate you all for also joining us till this moment. And if this is your first time coming to my channel, try to subscribe and also turn on your
I have, come on.